What if I told you today that one of the biggest lies that you're going to see out there, or that you have been told throughout your life, is that business success is achieved by working hard? Have you ever thought about what is actually needed to be successful in business? Have you also thought about why some people succeed at some things, yet others don't? There's a formula that is easy to structure, yet complicated if you don't have the discipline to execute on it consistently. Stay until the end of the video and you'll find out what those are. My name is Andrew Pizzi. I'm an entrepreneur and investor here out of Las Vegas, and I want to welcome you to the AP Show, where we'll be focusing on how to build a great life around health, wealth, love, and happiness, which are all needed in order for you to achieve a good life overall and not just in one specific area. These other three components that we're going to be covering here are very needed in order for success to be attracted to you. And yes, attraction is the right word to use here. You see, success is obviously not a person and it doesn't have feelings like us, but attraction is a very real thing when it comes down to what we're talking about here. So stay tuned. If you think about it, hard work and work ethic are absolutely needed in order for you to have success at anything, not just in business. So I don't think that when people advise on working hard to achieve success, they're given the wrong advice. But rather, I think their advice is missing other components that are absolutely critical in order for you to achieve the business success that you want. If hard work alone was enough for business success, then construction workers, handyman, or housekeepers would be the wealthiest people in the world. They all work hard. And if we got honest, they even work harder than the owners of the companies that they work for. But business success is not just about that. To think that work hard alone will get you business success without other components will be like thinking that you can box professionally because you're quick and you know how to throw jabs. There's a lot of other components that you need to know, hundreds of different components, before you can box professionally. So the reality is, you need to get good at those other areas that are needed for you to box professionally, so that the day that you have to jump on the ring with somebody that actually knows what they're doing, the outcome of the fight is not going to be the same if you only know a couple of components compared to that other person who has gotten really good at all those other components. And that's what happens in business. People jump onto having a business just because they think that they can do it better than the company they're working for, or just because they have the capital, or because they think that they could be good at leading people. But then they fight against other people that have figured out all the components that are needed to have a good business, and they lose. And that's the outcome that most people have because they're missing these three other components that we're going to be talking about here. Before we go into the four components that are needed for you to be having business success, which, by the way, this is not my opinion, this has been scientifically proven that you need this four in order for you to succeed, I want to know your thoughts. So please comment below with any questions or suggestions or any thoughts that you have about this topic. Also, feel free to hit the like button if you like the content, and also subscribe so that you can get daily content from me on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and every week we'll be dropping a video like this. So with that being said, let's begin. The four components that you're going to need in order for you to be successful are organization, perfectionism, prudence, and diligence. And let's break each of them down so that we get a better understanding about why you need all of them at the same time and not just one like we previously talked about. The first component is diligence. Diligence is 25% of the formula. And the reason why I want to start with diligence is because diligence is known in the common language as hard work. And I want to make sure that everybody understands how important it is to learn the value of hard work. Especially because within diligence, you don't only find hard work, but also work ethic, motivation, and discipline, which are very key, and you will never be successful if you don't master those areas. As in the business world, when it gets really hard, any normal person would give up. But discipline and motivation are only going to be there to push you and continue to keep you going. So again, you do need hard work, which is diligence. And again, it's 25% of the formula, but the other three you have to get good at. The second component is perfectionism. And it might sound really simple, Yet not many people master this 25% of the formula. You have to know how to double check your work. And it doesn't mean that you're always a perfectionist to the point where you don't execute on anything if you don't think that it's perfect, but for the important things, you have to be. For example, if you get on a plane and you have the opportunity to hear the pilots, they're always going to be talking to each other and checking every single component of the plane before they take off. And that's why planes don't crash. So in that aspect, when it's important, you have to be a perfectionist. Another example that I can give you on this would be my insurance company. We will not always be perfectionists about every single detail, but in our systems and the business components that will make us or break us, we pay very close attention to. And that's how we were able to be the highest producing agency in 2022 after being open for just 1 year versus agencies that have been open for 20 years, and we were able to produce even more because we were perfectionists on our systems and we got super efficient to the point where we can achieve that, which actually takes me to my next component. The third component is organization. And again, it makes another 25% of the formula. And this is a component that if done right, I can't tell you how much better my life and my businesses are when I pay attention to this component. It would not only help your business, but also your personal life will start to be better as well. There's a very true saying that goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it can't be more true. The way I organize myself, and whenever I do this, I have a great day. Whenever I don't, I notice it. I have notepads right next to my bed and in my office. And the first thing I do every single morning is to write down the main 3 projects I want to get done that day. It's that simple. Be organized a little bit. 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day of organization and planning and just writing down what you're going to get done that day are going to change your life. With organization also comes into play systems. I can't tell you how much more efficient my team and I have gotten to be by organizing things and putting them into systems that everybody can follow. The systems that we have created have allowed us to grow like crazy. It's easier when we sit down, plan for it, and we have a system on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why to do it, so that everybody's clear on how to execute on certain things, and you don't even have to be wasting time on knowing how to do it or what to do because it's all written down in a plan. So that's the other 25%. But the last one is the kicker. The last 25% of the formula is a component called prudence. Prudence is the ability to make the right decision. And I can't tell you how many business people and non-business people get this component wrong. That's the whole reason why the average person in the US takes 20 years to become a millionaire, and why 80 to 90% of businesses in the US fail within the first 5 years. Let me give you an example so that you can understand what I mean by prudence and the ability to make the right decision. Let's say that I have a goal. Let's say that I have the goal to get this pen. And let's say that I can't see that pen because it's a mile away, but I know I have to go north. And let's assume for a second that in my brain, I have a compass. And that compass is knowledge that I've built throughout the years. And that's what's going to guide me north to get my goal. So knowing that I have to go north to get my goal, what happens if we assume as well that I have a compass in my brain built in, and that compass was wired completely backwards? And instead of taking off walking north, I take off walking south. Do you know how much longer it will take me to get to my goal if I start walking to the wrong direction, even if I apply the other 3 components of business success? And I start walking, but I start doing it in a perfectionist manner, and I do it in an organized way, and I work on hard work and discipline. I'm applying the other 3 components, but because I didn't make the right decision, it will take me way longer to get to my objective. That's most of us. Because of our upbringing and society, our compasses are generally wired backwards. So prudence, because of its ability to make the right decision, the goal for this is to take your compass and point it to the true north, so that when you set yourself a goal, it doesn't take longer than needed. And you have to learn that from books and mentors and courses, because there's really no shortcut for this. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you get value out of this content, please hit the like button. And as always, feel free to add me on Instagram. You'll get daily content from me there. And with that being said, take care, everybody.